Imagine a world where hitting a certain age means the end of the line. That's the reality in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a JRPG-inspired game with a high-stakes story and combat system that will keep you on edge. We got early access to this game, so let's dive into Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So basically, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 takes place in the city of Lumiere, where a mysterious figure called the Paintress erases numbers from a stone monument. Each time she does, a cycle ends, and everyone who has reached that age dies. With the 34th cycle about to wipe out another generation, things aren't looking so good. Gustav, our protagonist, is part of the expedition crew to the Paintress's domain and determined to break the endless cycle. Upon arrival on the domain, the expedition crew were attacked to the point where his crew was almost completely wiped out. Barely surviving the attack, Gustav and his comrades set out to stop the Paintress from moving to another cycle. Of course, when setting out to stop the Paintress, obviously there will be combat, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 combat system is where the best part is. At first glance, it looks like your classic turn-based JRPG, attack commands, skills, item, and turn order on the side. But then, it has a unique system where the game throws in real-time elements that completely change how you play from your standard JRPG. While this approach isn't entirely new, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 gives it a central role rather than just a gimmick. You are required to master real-time mechanics instead of simply executing commands. For example, outside your turn, you're not just sitting there, you can dodge or parry incoming attacks. Dodging lets you avoid damage, but parrying? That's where things get spicy. Nail the timing correctly and you not only block the hit but counter with a powerful strike. Super satisfying when you pull it off. That being said, parrying is indeed more rewarding, but the timing is much harder to execute compared to dodging. So, you'll need to adapt depending on enemies with unpredictable or fast attack patterns. And the action doesn't stop there. Special moves have rhythm-based inputs, so if you time them right, you get bonus damage and stronger effects. Plus, every character has a ranged weapon. Think rifles, magic projectiles, and you actually have to aim them yourself. Throughout the game, the enemy, also known as Nevron, often has specific weak points. If you hit an enemy's weak spot, you can deal a massive damage. But don't expect to just breeze through fights. The enemy hit hard, and healing resources are limited. If you mess up your dodges or parries, you're in trouble. Luckily, the game offers difficulty options, so if you're here for the story, you won't have to sweat too much.
Hey, this is Sean from Gamer Braves. It's been 8 years since we established Gamer Braves channel. We went to a lot of overseas game conference. We did a lot of exclusive interview with a lot of prominent figures from the industry, Ryuzo Sugimoto, Sean Layden, and even Yagu. One of the easiest way to support us is to subscribe to our channel. Support like this will actually gives us motivation and pushes us to produce better content. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. Please enjoy the rest of the video.
Progression-wise, the game doesn't just rely on traditional RPG mechanics, it adds its own unique spin. Every time you level up, you earn points that can be allocated to core attributes like Vitality, Might, Agility, Defense, and Luck. And then, there's Equipment System, which is split into two main parts, Pictos and Lumina. Pictos act like gear upgrades, letting you enhance character stats and ability by slotting them in. Think of them like equipable power-ups. But Lumina? That's a little different. Instead of affecting just one character, Lumina applies buffs and effects to the entire party, adds layers of strategy. You can't just upgrade anywhere though. You'll need to find rest points. This serves as safe zones where you can spend points to enhance stats and abilities. But here's where it gets interesting. Since healing items are limited, rest points also become crucial for keeping your team alive. As for the exploration side of this game, if you're expecting a massive open world with tons of freedom, this isn't that kind of game. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 takes a more structured, linear approach focusing on its breathtaking world design rather than open-ended discovery. And yeah, the environments are absolutely stunning, but the actual exploration feels pretty straightforward. And since the game is all about this ongoing expedition, don't expect bustling towns full of NPCs other than those in the opening portions of the story. And it is somewhat disappointing that the most exciting part of exploration comes from admiring the breathtaking world design. Beyond that, most of your time is spent pushing forward through the dangerous territory, which fits the story tone but might feel a little bit lonely compared to other JRPGs. If what the game has shown so far is already impressive, This preview has only reinforced our belief that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 could be one of the best games of 2025. I especially love its deeply emotional story premise, which keeps you invested in the struggle of its main characters. On top of that, the combat system is exceptionally well crafted, with its emphasis on reactive gameplay adding a unique twist to the turn-based formula. While the game's exploration leans more on visual presentation rather than the thrill of discovery, everything else has left us highly satisfied. At this point, I'm even more excited than ever to see the final release. So, what do you guys think? Is this one on your radar? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for a full review when the game drops. Catch you in the next one!